One of my favorite techniques that I've learned from the book, The Einstein Factor by Wenger and Richard Poe, is something called model thinking. And it's a very fun technique where you simply take on the identity of a genius from history, like Nikola Tesla, Leonardo Da Vinci, Michaengelo. And I noticed that when you apply this technique, it's like a sudden shift in your consciousness, and you get these insights, you gain this knowledge, and you also are inspired to do certain things, and it gets things moving really quickly with your consciousness, with your mind, and with your body. And it's a very fun process. And they were discussing how this is a process that's been used for thousands of years. That people in different civilizations have been trying this or applying this and gain knowledge and skills that they otherwise wouldn't have access to unless they apply this certain technique called model thinking. And it's very similar to what Stone Age shamans did. Like, they would hollow out the head of a deer and put on that head of a deer so they can take on the identity of a deer and gain knowledge of the forest. And they also said that it's also similar to what psychologists call dissociation. Our brain has this amazing capacity of splitting off different distinct personalities, and certain people with actual multiple personality disorders, when they have been studied, they show that with their different personalities, their brain waves change dramatically, and they say that that's a difficult thing to do. It's almost as difficult as changing your fingerprints. But our brain has this amazing capacity to change. I don't want to say we're going to become multiple personality disorder victims or anything, but it's a temporary thing where you use your imagination and you quote unquote put on the head of that genius. You basically pretend that you can simply pretend that that person that you want to become, that genius, you and that person are merging as one person, or you're taking off their head and putting their head on top of your head or over your head. And when you do this, when you apply this technique, take notice of how different you feel, take notice of the different thoughts that come in your head, and take notice of what actual things that you are inspired to do. And I apply this technique, and I've noticed that I find myself getting up and doing things that I've been putting off for too long. I've been wanting to start playing more guitar or piano, and I've been putting it off because I've been just taking care of other priorities, and I realized, oh, I need to practice more. It's been a while. I enjoy music. I want to play, and I apply this technique, and I put on the head of a certain musician, and here I am. Well, right away, I picked up my guitar. Right away, I went to my piano. Right away, I was actually inspired. I actually wanted to do it, and that's what I noticed. Is you're actually compelled to take action, whatever action that is necessary, and it's a good motivator. It inspires you, like I said, to take action. And so if there's a certain genius in history or that's still alive to this day that it embodies that person that you want to become in your life, just use your imagination and pretend that you're putting their consciousness into your consciousness, or that you're merging both yours and that person's body and mind, body, and soul as one. And just pretend you are that person. Another word for this is borrowed genius, or they also call it artificial reincarnation. Just pretend that that person in history that's a genius, that Nikola Tesla or whoever it is reincarnated into your soul. And just take notice of the thoughts and the things that you're inspired to do. And it has this weird way of changing your consciousness. So it's a very fun technique to apply, and it's definitely a good way to, if you find it hard to be motivated or to get up or do anything, try this technique, and before you know it, you're going to get up and start doing whatever it takes to get things done. You're going to think a lot more in an inspired way.